yeah, that sounded great. I really loved it. The sound of this Fractal Audio FM3 or the XFX3, depends what you have. Today what you heard, the clean sounds were my 59 Bassman, bass guy, Fender Bassman preset. And the lead channel was from my Marshall JTM45. Both these amps, the signals of it, how I programmed it, you can find in the link below in the description. Check it out, because today we are going to talk about something completely different. The Plex Delay block. It's an amazing block. I really love the sound of it. I used to have my reverb and the delay block in high quality, especially the reverb. And it cost me like 20-25% of my CPU more. And now, while using the Plex Delay, it saves me 20-25% of course of my CPU. And actually, I prefer the sound of the Plex Delay much more better. Check it out and let's see what it's doing. If you like what you're hearing, please subscribe to my channel and see you around. Let's go check out the Plex Delay. So here we have my ultra high quality reverb preset and a bypass delay block. The CPU is around 80 and this is how it sounds. You can hear its great, huge, rich hall, the way it sounded with the Eventide. And then we have my other preset with the Plex Delay block instead of the reverb and delay block. As you can see, the CPU is around 55, so that saves me a little, 25% of the CPU. That's not a little, that's huge. Another big reason, because it has got diffusion. I can add diffusion, actually something what sounds like reverb but it's diffusion. So I can add that thing to my delays and it fills up nicely the space in between the dry delay repeats. And I love it, especially in the mix and live, it sounds really amazing. So let's start with channel D and the Plexverb algorithm first. The main thing is the chain. I have it set parallel and not serial. It just gives me more control of the dry and FX levels. For that, the mix is set to 100% and the bypass mode to mute in. The next parameter is the stereo spread. I have it set to 100 instead of 200. 200 gives you a more wider reverb sound and it becomes a bit thinner, if you understand what I mean. It sounds further away, while I prefer it rather to be thick and sitting closely around my dry signal, more in your face. If you have headphones, you will hear it even better, but here's a little example. First 200, then 100. Then we have the reverb size. For the huge verbs, I keep it on 50%. And for the normal verbs, I drop it to 25. Let's hear the difference. First 50, then 25. As you may have heard, 50 sounds more smoother, further away, 25 has more reflections and a bit more mids, both very usable. Check out my 59 Bassman video, the Fender 59 Bassman. I have used only the 25% reverb size and I love those sounds. There are multiple clips where I play only clean with this reverb on 25%. Then let's move on to decay. I keep it on 2 seconds for the huge verbs and 1 second for the normal style. One important thing is the high cut. On 20,000 Hz it sounds quite bright and I like to keep it dark, filling up the space and giving the dry guitar signal its space. This is the difference. First 20,000, then 2,000. 2000 is my personal choice when playing live and recording. It just doesn't disturb the dry guitar signal. The same settings I copy to channel C and only drop the reverb size to 25 and decay to 1 and I'm set. Then let's move on to the second algorithm, the Plex delays on channel B. Again, the mix is set to 100%, but this time the stereo spread is set to 200. As I explained before, 200 is more wider, 100 is more sitting around your dry signal. And of course, I don't want the delay repeats to sit closely next to my dry signal. I prefer it rather as far away to the far left and right, leaving enough space for the dry signal. Let's hear them with a short note plate. First 100, then 200. Then we have the number of delays. Set to 4 while we have 8. Here is the difference again with a short note plate. First 8, then 4. I prefer 4, it sounds very musical, and the only thing I always change is the beat per minute depending on the tempo of the song, and it's always fitting. Let's check out the time, levels and panning parameters of these 4 delays. As you can see, all stock settings. Don't even bother with them, don't even mess around with them, they sound great as they are. Huge thanks to Fractal Audio, of course. The key of getting these amazing reverbs behind the delay is the input diffusion. It's a magic thing actually. Stock setting is 50% for both. Let's hear them with the muted sound. Hear how the 50% of the time parameter is a bit in the way of the delays. Too much mids. The same way we were playing with the reverb size in the Plexverb algorithm, this can be helped by raising the diffusion time to 100, which makes it sitting a bit further and smoother in the mix, but longer. As you can hear, there is more difference between the delay and the so-called reverb, the diffusion. And then we can adjust the mix between the delays and diffusion reverb. On 50, the diffusion sounds quite loud. I prefer it a bit further in the mix, of course giving the delays more space, but still not sounding dry. Let's hear them, first 50, then 20. Great. And one small thing, of course, the famous high cut. Again to 2000, same story as I told before, and here is how they sound. First 20,000, then 2000. It may sound a bit drastic the way I cut the highs, but try it out in a band mix with backing tracks. It just sits great in the mix without bothering the important dry guitar signal. You don't want to bother the dry guitar signal. People should hear it all the time and use a lot of effects, but not in the same frequency as your dry guitar signal. The same setting I copied to channel A, and I only drop the decay time to 1 and the level to -2.5, and I have my lead channel for delays with so-called reverb, so delays diffusion. I hope you liked it, and check out my other videos for more sound examples on how I have been using this amazing Plex Delay block. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe so I can keep making more content for you. Thanks a lot and see you around.